So you're thinking about moving to Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, and more specifically, Staunton, Virginia. Well, in this video, I'm going to take you on a map tour of Staunton and show you where some of the neighborhoods are located, some of the places of entertainment, restaurants, so that you have a better idea of what Staunton is all about. And if you hang around to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a market report about Staunton with some of the census information about it. And you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And we're going to get started right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Virginia, from its mountains to valleys and in towns like Staunton, Virginia, then click on that subscribe button and touch that bell so you can be the first to be notified about information about the market in living in Virginia. Hi, my name is Stephen Gleason, and along with my wife and partner Leslie, and we get emails and phone calls every day from folks just like you who are looking to make a move to Virginia, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're deciding to move in 9 days or 90 days, pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. The information's in the description down below, and we'll be happy to help you make a smooth move to Virginia. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, today we're going to take a look at Staunton, Virginia on a map. We're going to look at some of the areas, and let's just get after it right now. Here's a basic outline of Staunton right now, and you can kind of see here on the map, it's already kind of outlined, but you see the red dots that go all the way around the city. Pretty much a circle here is what that is. And actually it's about 18 miles, take about 19 minutes to drive all the way around the city of Staunton, Virginia. If we zoom out just a little bit here, we get a really good idea of where Staunton is located. Staunton is located in the absolutely beautiful Shenandoah Valley, which is one of my absolutely favorite places on the earth, and one of the reasons that I live here in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley. And so but we're located in the Shenandoah Valley, and as you can see, we've got Richmond down here about an hour and a half away from Staunton, and Washington, D.C. about just under 2.5 hours away from from Staunton, Virginia. As we zoom in a little bit closer, we Staunton, Virginia is geographically, as far as roads go, a great place. We've got I-81 that runs all the way up and down, or most of the East Coast, and it's going to get you in Pennsylvania in 2.5 hours, and Maryland in 2 hours. And so very quick route to get there. And we've also got the east-west route. We'll move out here a little bit, and there we go. We got I-64 as well, and you can see I-64 comes out of West Virginia, and it ties into 81 for a while, and then comes right up here to Staunton and goes all the way out to Charlottesville. So those two roads intersect and make it very quick to get to different places all throughout the East Coast. A few places of interest around the area here that are a little bit closer into Staunton. Really neat note that a lot of people like to know about. First of all, just about 45 minutes away, we've got up here in Wintergreen Resort. That's a ski resort. Also, it's for all 4 seasons. There's golf courses there, and a lot of properties up there that are very interesting. And at the same time, we've also got just a little bit further north here. We have Massanutten, which is another ski resort, and also golf course, 4 seasons as well, water slides and everything else. So a couple of really neat places, and both of those are about 45 minutes away from Staunton. Getting in a little bit closer to Staunton, what we see is that if you're a hiker, you would love living in Staunton, because Staunton is part of the Staunton is very close, about 20 minutes away from the Appalachian Trail, just outside of Waynesboro here in the Waynesboro Afton. There's actually a trailhead right there. You actually walk through an old railroad tunnel to get to the Appalachian Trail, and pretty neat start to the trail. And then you can walk all the way from Maine all the way down into Georgia on the Appalachian Trail right here. So a lot of opportunities for outdoor recreation there as well. So as we zoom into the map, the 3 neighborhoods that we looked at in the last video, the vlog about Staunton, first one here is Winbrook, and this is the area where we're looking at homes in about the $325,000 to $425,000 range. After that, we went up and we saw some homes up in the Baldwin Place area. And the homes up here in the Baldwin Place area, they averaged about $450,000 to about $600,000, maybe a little bit more. There are a few that are a little bit more in that neighborhood as well. And then finally, we went down into the Woodley area, which is down in this section of Staunton. Older section of town, but very well kept and a very desirable neighborhood. And the homes in there, we looked at most of those, and those were about $500,000 to about $800,000 dollars is what those ran. So those were the three areas that we looked at in our vlog video, and kind of gives you an idea of where they are in relation to the rest of the town. So we'll clear that off, and we'll just kind of go in now and look at the rest of the town. And if we were to go downtown, that's where we started that last video, the vlog video. And you have Beverly Street, which is the main street running through town, where a lot of the restaurants I mentioned come out onto the streets during the summertime on Friday and Saturday nights, and they shut down and just have a fantastic time of community there, and eating out in the beautiful weather of the summertime and in the early fall. A couple of restaurants that not in that area that I'd certainly recommend. The Mill Street Grill is an old grist mill is what it is, and just a really neat place to eat. One neat thing about them, they actually have butters that they make with different flavors. Like they have peach butter and all different kinds of butters. It's just different what times of the year that you go there, but just a really neat place to go in and to visit. Another place, if you're especially looking for a great lunch, is the Depot Grill. It's the old train station in Staunton, and has a really nice bar section, and just a really neat place to visit. Their specialty there is chicken, and you get their chicken there. It is this special thing that they do. So that's just a couple of the things that are in downtown Staunton. The other place that we went on our map, and I mentioned this is where most of the commerce took place, was out here along Highway 250, or what we'd also call Richmond Avenue. And most of that you can see with the Walmart there, but there's a Lowe's there, and there's grocery stores, and that's where a lot of the commerce takes place. There's another area here on Greenville Avenue as well. A lot of the commerce takes place there. Of course, there's downtown things as well, but that's where the major part of the larger stores and your chain stores that you would think of are located. In talking about the town, there's really three major parks. You can see up here Gypsy Hill Park, you can see Montgomery Park, and Betsy Hill Wilderness Park. These three parks are all geared toward families. Gypsy Hill, you're actually going to find a golf course at Gypsy Hill as long as a community pool. Here in Montgomery Park as well, there's a community pool. That's where a lot of your kids, if you have children, that's where they play their baseball games if they were in Staunton. As well as in Gypsy Hill, there's baseball fields there as well. And then Betsy Bell is kind of a neat place. It has just a lot of trails and just has some really neat views, and you can kind of get an idea there from the top of the hill there at Betsy Bell. And just a really neat time, really neat place to go. Like I say, a lot of trails to walk, but like I say, a lot of opportunities for recreation and parks in Staunton. If we continue to go, there's a little bit more recreation. I already mentioned the Appalachian Trail being about 20 minutes away, but also I mentioned that there was some golf courses. So Gypsy Hill has one. That's a city golf course, and that's right there in town. And there's another one that's an actually older course here, and this is Ingleside Golf Course. Sits right here, just on the northeast side of town, or north side of town, and that's an older golf course. Used to be a resort there. It's still there, but the golf course is the only thing that's functioning right now. But actually is the host of 5 Virginia State Opens there over in the history of Virginia. So kind of a neat little historical fact. And then if you like to go to a country club, there's Ironwood Country Club, formerly Staunton Country Club. And that is a semi-private course, and but you have 3 courses right in the area though. So if you golfer, it's definitely a decent place for you to be. And as you can see, I do like golf, so had to throw those in if you're a golfer. A few things historically about Staunton. One of the biggest things Staunton is known for is the Woodrow Wilson Presidential Library, located just above the downtown area. Great place to go, obviously celebrating a lot of information about our 28th President of the United States, Woodrow Wilson. Another great place if you want to take your family or go yourself, is to come down to the Frontier Culture Museum. And let me find that here. There it is, the Frontier Culture Museum. This is kind of like a mini Williamsburg. Reenactors dress up, and you can see there's all different types of different villages. There's from Africa, there's from England. As a matter of fact, they have a building there from England that they disassembled over in England hand by hand, that was built in the 1600s, and they brought it over here, and it's reset up stick by stick in Virginia. So kind of a really neat place to be. As a matter of fact, there's that house that was reassembled from the 1600s over here in Virginia at the Frontier Culture Museum. So kind of a really neat place there as well. One other place that I would just mention here that is of note is if you're in the arts, there's multiple theaters. There's 3 or 4 theaters in the area, but one of those theaters, probably the most well-known in the area, the Shakespeare Theater, which, there it is, the Blackfriars Center, Shakespeare's Blackfriars Center. And as you can see, it's set up like the old Globe Theater. And so I guess it's the closest thing you get to being back over at the one that was the Globe Theater in London that was remade back several years ago. So kind of a neat place to really take into play, and just very unique to Staunton, Virginia. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I was going to give you a little bit of a market report about the area of Staunton. And of course, if you're looking for a home with larger land, and certainly a larger amount of land, and certainly mountain views, which there's a lot of homes even in Staunton that have mountain views, but you're going to want to look out for larger acreage out around the city of Staunton. Just to the west of Staunton, you have the town of Churchville, actually right up here in the corner, just to the northwest. And you go over that, you go over Finger of the Appalachian Mountains into Highland County, which there's a lot of maple syrup, places over there, and they have a festival over on that side of the mountain. Kind of a neat thing to go to, only about 40 minutes away from downtown Staunton. Like I say, so you're going to go into the outer areas of around Staunton, and you can find houses with larger amounts of land. And just depending upon the size of the houses, they're probably going to run you anywhere from $400,000, some run way over $1 million into the millions, and if that's something you're interested in. So I wanted to mention, I told you we'd look at a market report here, and here's a market report for Staunton, Virginia. Just a few things about it. You can see that homes for sale is dropped like 0.5%, and we're getting into November, December now, and so things tend to slow down a little bit during those months. So that's not uncommon, and so there's been homes off the market. You see days on the market. We've seen the market slow just a touch right now. It's but it's still a very hot market, and if your property is priced correctly, it's still going to move very, very quickly. The average home price you see here in Staunton is about $324,000, about $165. Here we go. Mark these out so make sure everybody sees them. About $165 a square foot, about $324,000 is the average cost of a home in and around Staunton. If we go down and just take a look here at some of the homes here in the area. Matter of fact, let's just click on this one. Here's one with just about the average price of Staunton. As we look at that house, we can see that it's just over 2,000 right down here, 2,004 square feet. That house is built in 1999. Let's just look at a few of the pictures of it. So square footage wise, I believe that's $172 a square foot is what that is. And just kind of give you an idea as you're going through these, would be a typical home that you get kind of neat there. That's kind of neat. You got an upper loft / balcony there with a kind of a living room with a fireplace in it. That's kind of a really pretty neat place. There's a view from the top. Like I say, a home that's right now, 23 years old, and obviously looking in very good condition. Looks like we've got some granite countertops in there as well, so there's been some upgrades done to it. And like I said, $172 a square foot, probably something that's priced pretty well to sell. That gives you an idea of what's in that price range here in Staunton. Of course, you have other options in Staunton as well. You could go up to houses. This matter of fact is over in the Baldwin Place area that we looked at. Again, priced about $600,000. 3,734 square feet, about a half an acre, just a little less than half an acre, and Cape Cod style. You can see it's got a garage off to the side. As a matter of fact, this is the one that we talked about in the vlog video. And as we go inside the property, so you kind of get the nice stair effect as well. Just some really neat houses. Like I say, this particular house, I forget what it said, it was built in 1988. So we're looking at about a 40-year-old house. Excuse me, about a 35-year-old house. But as you can see, there's definitely a feel and a vibe that you get to it. And if that's the kind of house that you're interested in, Baldwin Place is a really great place to look for that type of a property. So as I mentioned, we talked a little bit about the census of Staunton and a little bit of some of those facts. And as you can see, Staunton has about 25,000 people in it. So it's not a huge city, but there is enough there to certainly be able to live and a lot to do. Kind of one of the interesting things I found about Staunton was if you're looking for a city that's not huge, like for example, you go across the mountain, the population per square mile in Charlottesville is about 3,400 people per square mile. Here in Staunton, it's about a third of that, at 1,300 people per square mile. So although it's a city, as you get right out of that downtown area into some of the areas inside that loop, the Woodrow Wilson Parkway that goes around the city, there's a lot of still land in that area, and things are spread out pretty well there. A couple other interesting facts here about the housing market out there is that the housing units, 59% are owner occupied. So certainly the majority of the town is owned by people actually living in their houses. And here's an idea about the rent. As a matter of fact, maybe you move into the area and you have to rent first. Let us know about that. We can help you with that too. But like I say, $864 is about the average rent, depending on where you are, of course, and the size of the house. That's certainly going to vary. So those are some things about Staunton that I hope that you have found to be helpful to you. Again, if there's more information you would like and would need, please, like I say, pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, shoot us an email. We'd be happy to help you out in any way possible. Matter of fact, we could even do a Zoom call with you and just even take you on a virtual tour of the town or some homes if you'd like to do it that way as well. So, but again, like I say, Virginia, its mountains to its valleys, a beautiful area, and Staunton's another one of the beautiful towns and cities inside the valley. And so again, whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call. And until then, we'll see you around.